seeking validation in one or more areas of your life implies there is an issue, some unresolved issue and trauma in your past. Now, I can hear you already saying, wow, that's a really big statement, Paul. And I kind of come across this theory, because that's what it is. It's just a theory. And I think to myself, well, let's have a look at the upper middle class gap year students. You know, they've got bags of energy and confidence. Nothing can go wrong. They're full of themselves, of how amazing they are and how much beer they can drink and how far they can travel. And yes, they've got masses of confidence. A lot of that is to do with knowing you've got a safety net. You know, you've got the family to bail you out if you end up in prison or something like that. But a lot of it comes down to having your childhood needs met. Now that, again, is a bit of a big statement. But if you think about it, people that have almost perfect families and upbringings that are, you know, a good, strong role model as a father and a good mother, a caring mother, and that child is brought up with a lot of nurture and also some guidelines and discipline and some lots of knowledge given to that child and safe spaces to grow and develop, then that really is a massive advantage. Pardon me, I keep looking down at my notes. Somebody's educated them for future risks, to be able to take on those future risks and think about like financial understanding about the financial world, how it works, how money works, you know, debt and how to leverage money to your best advantage and things like that, and be able to take risks. And then also with networking, the main reason that young people to go to university, especially wealthy people, is to network, is to get friendly with those big families that have got other networks. You have a look at Eton, for example, Eton College, you know, or even Cambridge and Oxford. All these people, they all make their way up in the world because of who they know. You look at all the politicians, they all know each other from school. I don't think there's been a politician since Margaret Thatcher where the politician didn't go to an expensive school. Okay. But many of us have these gaps, you know, there's complete knowledge missing about these foundational factors, which puts the upper class at a huge advantage. All right. But being complete as an adult is probably the biggest factor to help you have faith and trust in yourself, to grow and take those risks and to build. So that's one key aspect, is having your shit together up here, you know, not having the trauma of your parents or your past as you grew up, your childhood. So having your stuff together, that's one key aspect. Building safety nets, building just a small safety net of, say, £5,000, you know, in case the boiler breaks or the car breaks or something like that. Again, just maintaining that and keeping that is another key factor to help you keep you afloat and help make you safe in a place where you can take risks of earning more or doing a qualification to level up your earning potential. Also, if you're able to choose an industry that you kind of like, that you can put up with, an industry that sort of fits with your vibe, and then you can stick to that industry for, say, 10 years, that gives you a massive advantage, sticking with one industry, because of the knowledge you get, you know, within that industry really, really does elevate you to be able to feel safe and competent and confident that you can level up your earning potential again. So having many or multiple factors in the bag gives you a lot of confidence that radiates and attracts other opportunities, which is kind of a catch-22, you know. The more confidence you get and the more foundational blocks you make, the more confidence you get, the more you radiate that positive energy, and then you're able to be prepared for more opportunities that come your way or might come your way. But this compounds over the years. So say you've been in an industry for 10 years. Say you've got, plenty of financial support network, so maybe you've got 10 grand behind you, so you could leave a job if you wanted to, or you could pay for the qualification that levels you up to the next level by yourself. All these factors accumulate and compound over time. And this just gives you a real winner's mindset. Like I said, again, it's this catch-22, but it does compound and it does build and build and build and build. And then you just have that mindset of where things can't go wrong, because you've got the safety net. You've got the knowledge. You've got the qualification. You've got those networks of people. And then most things that you try, you have that confidence to be able to persevere. And again, like I said about the communication and greasing the wheels, keeping friends in places happy, Christmas, remembering people at Christmas, and just greasing the wheels a little bit. It definitely helps in when you're trying to garner support for your next venture, for your next step up. It's not just who you know, it's not just what you know, it's who you know, and whether those people like you. And I imagine that's the same for politics. You've got to keep people happy. Quid pro quo, a favor here, a favor there. Within reason. You don't want blackmail, but you want to be able to help one another out so that they in turn will help you out at some point. All right. This then brings like an inner peace and confidence and a feeling of wholeness, yet also humble enough to want to improve and give something back. Building that validation from yourself really stands you well above everybody, above 99% of other people. Having that validation from yourself gives you that inner peace and just elevates you up. So no matter who you are or where you are, you can always do something to improve your status. Not status, your situation rather. You can always improve your situation little by little by little. Now, assuming you wake up every day alive, then you've got the opportunity to improve your situation every single day. And again, that's why it's well worth always being polite, always being nice, and to your colleagues and your peers and your family, because it's that network that help give you the opportunity. And that's also the time about being humble to be able to remember where you come from. And so you could help elevate somebody else. In a lot of Asian countries, there's often considered a rich uncle who would maybe take on a young apprentice or a so-called son. And he would put them through university or something like that to help give back to maybe one of his brothers or sisters' family and to help elevate them, which would then help their family. It's all about quid pro quo, giving back. And so it all goes around, maybe not necessarily 100% equal, but you're definitely helping one another, which in turn helps you. So, yeah, well, that's my theory. That's my ideology. And I'm trying to improve my situation step by step. If you're going through something similar, or you know of a story that mirrors my philosophy, my idea, my theory, then let me know in the comments below. I'd be happy to start a conversation and see where this goes. But yeah, if you've got any stories, let me know in the comments below. That's it for this video. If I don't see you before, have a happy Christmas. Bye-bye for now.